Hi, this is Kylie Minogue.
Hi, this is Leo and a big welcome back to the Sound Museum, the music podcast with that personal connection we all have with the music that we listen to. Firstly, it's so good to be back after my 4 weeks on holiday. I had a great time with my fiance Sean. We went to South Africa and Singapore. Such an amazing time and so many great stories. And we're actually in the process of doing a video of our travels, but more on that in a few weeks once we find the time to edit all the pictures and the videos. But yeah, so good to be back with you and thank you so much for your support. Before we get started on this week's podcast, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the new listeners, especially in the US and Brazil. You guys loved the Mariah Carey Music Box special celebrating the album's 30th anniversary. It went absolutely gangbusters while I was on holiday, and it has now become my highest downloaded podcast ever since the podcast began in January this year. So thank you so much to all the lovely Mariah Carey fans for all your love and support on the podcast, especially on the platform Deezer. Some really high downloads on that platform. So once again, thank you so much for your support. And I really hope you enjoy going back and listening to past episodes of the Sound Museum, which you can listen to anytime you like on your favorite podcast provider, whether that is Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon. The podcast is on all platforms, so I really hope you enjoy going back and listening to past episodes you may have missed of the Sound Museum. So it's been a week since the release of Kylie Minogue's 16th studio album, Tension. I've been listening to the album all week, taking my time and doing this special because I want to get a good indication of the album. So I've been sitting on it all week, and this is my little tribute to Kylie Minogue's Tension. We're going to go through all the songs on the album, the singles, the remixes, the physical formats, and the upcoming live performances. So stay tuned for another action-packed episode of the Sound Museum. This week we are dissecting the new album from Kylie Minogue, Tension. Apparently Kylie began writing the album from mid-2022. Initially an 80s vibe or theme was considered, but it was then abandoned. Once there was no theme, the shape of the album started to come together. Writing and recording sessions taking place in Melbourne, Croatia, Paris and Denmark, and in the UK, London, Surrey and Brighton. On the album Tension, Kylie has co-written 10 tracks on the 14-track deluxe edition of the album. Now, when Kylie first announced Tension, there were so many physical formats. So just to break it down a bit, let's just see how many physical formats there are of Tension. Now on the CD, there is the 11-track standard edition of the album. There also comes with alternative slipcase in Australia. It's basically a cardboard case wrapped around the standard edition, so nothing really special there. There's also a CD-sized case-bound book for the deluxe edition, which has 14 tracks. There is a DVD-sized case-bound book for the deluxe edition, which you can only get through Kylie's official web store. Moving on to vinyl. Now there is so many vinyls available for Tension. The test pressing sold out pretty quickly on the website, but there was more available at the recent London pop-up store. There's a standard black edition, there is a gatefold silver vinyl, transparent orange, transparent pink, transparent green, Coke bottle clear, and at the London pop-up store there was a clear vinyl as well. So for all you vinyl lovers, Kylie certainly got you covered. Now moving on to cassettes. Now this was announced just a few weeks ago. There was an orange, green, blue and pink cassettes for the standard edition of the album, and there was a double cassette for the deluxe edition of the album. Now with that release I found it quite strange because the deluxe edition could actually fit on one cassette. Why would you have two cassettes for the deluxe version? I guess that comes down to marketing, hey. So Tension was released last week on Friday the 22nd of September. My fiance Sean and I got back into the country the night before Tension was released, thankfully, and I spent most of last weekend listening to the album, and here are my personal thoughts on the album Tension. Let's go through track by track, beginning with the song that everyone knows. This is, of course, Padam Padam.
Padam, padam, I hear it and I know. Padam, padam, I know you wanna take me home. Padam, and get to know me close. Padam, padam, when your heart goes. Padam, padam, I hear.
That was Padam Padam, written by Ina Ralston. I hope I pronounced that right. She is a Norwegian singer-songwriter, and Peter Rycroft, also known as Lost Boy, who also produced the track as well. Padam Padam was the lead single from the album Tension. Now when I first heard Padam Padam, it is such a catchy pop dance banger, slick, that thumping, infectious EDM beats. As the line in the song says, it's guaranteed to get into your head all weekend. A definite earworm. The song of the summer in Europe and the US. The video was shot in LA, directed by Sophie Miller, and the choreo was done by Hollywood, a US choreographer. When Padam Padam was released in May, the song exploded on TikTok. So many memes. Young people didn't care how old Kylie was. They just loved the song. It was also released around the Pride time worldwide, becoming a new anthem for the LGBTIQ community. Kylie performed the song for the first time on the American Idol Grand Final and also the KTU Euphoria in New York. She also surprised fans at Wembley Stadium in London by performing the track live on Capital's Summertime Ball. Padam Padam was a commercial success for Kylie. In the UK, the track reached number 8 and has sold over 200,000 copies so far. In the Netherlands, number 18. In New Zealand, on the Hot Singles chart, it reached number 11. And here in Australia, it reached number 19. Going gold, selling over 35,000 units. It also reached number 1 on the US Dance Radio Airplay chart. And the song is still impacting charts worldwide, especially in the US. So fingers crossed for Hot 100 debut on the Billboard Hot 100. Moving on to the remixes of Padam Padam, beginning with the extended mix. Love that 12-inch mix of Padam Padam. You can also catch the video of the extended mix on YouTube. Let's take a listen to the other remixes of Padam Padam: Jack Jones, Absolute, and Hey. Kylie released some physical formats of Padam Padam on a 2-track cassette single and a 2-track CD single, as well as a 4-track mixtape. Moving on to track number 2 on the album, this is Hold On To Now.
Baby, what are we holding on to? Baby, where do we wanna run to? Oh, we'll figure it out somehow. Keep holding on to now. Dreaming when we dance with the rain.
Written by Kylie, John Green, Richard Stannard and Doug Blackwell. The same vibe as a stunning Say Something from the Disco album. Very Robin-ish. Such a stunning track with that uplifting chorus, hands in the air. Love the house gospel choir on this track. A perfect Kylie song. And also, Kylie herself really likes this track. Kylie performed Hold On To Now for the very first time on the BBC 2 Party in the Park in London a few weeks ago, and it's rumoured to be the next single from Tension. This is track number 3 on the Tension album. This is Things We Do For Love.
Should I stay, should I go? Maybe you could be my unconditional. Oh, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for love, the things we do for love. Tell me how far would you go when you hear.
Once again, co-written by Kylie, Anya Jones, Camille Purcell, John Green, Richard Stannard and Doug Blackwell. Things We Do For Love is very 80s, that perfect top-down driving song, very uplifting, written on the same day as the track Tension. On this track, Kylie delivers some killer vocals. She's such a brilliant pop singer. A firm favourite from the album for me. Now it's time for a bit of tension. Once again, written by Kylie, Anya Jones, Camille Purcell, John Green, Richard Stannard and Doug Blackwell. Interestingly, Camille is a London-based singer, songwriter and producer. Over the years, she has written songs for the likes of Little Mix, Ollie Murs, Westlife, Dua Lipa, Anne Marie and many more. Tension is the second single from the album. Now, Padam Padam was quite flirty. Tension is just plain sexy. I love this track. Kylie wasn't sure this track would make the album, as the initial version was quite out of place with the rest of the album. The lyrics are quite edgy, with the robo voice being more exaggerated in the original version. This is the end result though. Those beats, that energy, love those 90s house vibes, sounds really fresh, catchy, and the TikTok memes have well and truly started with the song Tension. Once again, the video was shot in LA by director Sophie Muller. Very futuristic for Kylie's. Love the red wig. Which Kylie is your favourite from the video? Chart-wise, Tension reached number 19 in the UK, in Ireland number 34, in Australia number 46, and in New Zealand on the Hot Singles chart number 10. There's just one remix so far of Tension, which appears on the CD single, which you can get from Kylie's online store. This is the extended mix. As I mentioned before, Tension received some physical love on Kylie's web store, 2 different CD singles, each containing the single version and the extended mix. It's also available on a cassette single. Kylie also performed this track live for the first time at BBC 2 in the Park in London, and the track sounds awesome live.
All night, dance me right there. Dance me right there. Dance me right there. Baby, break the tension. All night, dance me right there. Dance me right there. Dance me right there. Baby.
Moving on to track number 5 from the Tension album. This is One More Time.
You know there's something about you and me. One more time, one more time, one more time. Woo! Rewind it back, we got history. One more time, one more time, one more time.
Written by Kylie, John Green, Richard Stannard and Doug Blackwell. Another highlight from the album for me. Flirty Kylie returns, a touch of Daft Punk vibes. Also reminds me of some tracks from Golden and Disco. That mix of perfect breezy pop. Let's take things even higher with track number 6.
Baby, baby, goodbye. Baby, some more. You still get behind.
You Still Get Me High, written by Kylie, John Green and Richard Stannard. Another 80s inspired track. Starts off like a bit of a slow down mid-tempo vibe, but soon kicks into gear and sounds like a glorious Coldplay vibe banger. Again, a gorgeous vocal from Kylie, especially those ad-libs towards the end of the track. Love the saxophone as well. A classy sax always lifts a song. This track will really go off live. Moving on to track number 7, and this track has some fans divided.
Whenever I feel your hands all over me, it's like I'm up in heaven, I'm in a dream. I never knew your love would set me free.
Track number 7 on the album, Hands, written by Ryan Ashley, Daniel Davidson, Casper Larson and Mitch Hansen. Hands is a bit of a curveball. Reminds me a bit of Doja Cat's Say So, that R&B vibe, and Kylie raps on this track. And she's improved a lot since the One Boy Girl days from the 90s. This is really good. The younger fans will absolutely love this track, Hands. On the track, the beginning of the first verse isn't Kylie. It's a vocal from the original demo, and then Kylie comes into the track. Now, the song also mentions Barbie during the song, so why wasn't this song included on the Barbie movie soundtrack? I wonder why. Let's move on to track number 8, and I'm giving you the green light.
Just give me the green light, and I can make you feel better. Spinning round in circles, I could do it forever. Let me be your highlight, dancing all night together. Just give me the green light, and I can.
That is Green Light, written by Ruby Spiro, Daniel Davidson and Peter Wallenvik. I hope I pronounced that right. Kylie calls this track the cousin of Spinning Around. Though it's quite breezy and chill, it really sits in the groove. A gorgeous cross between Dua Lipa and Carly Rae Jepsen. That sexy sax is back, which clearly makes this track. And Green Light could easily be part of the previous album, Disco. Let's head to Vegas for a bit of Vegas High.
Make my eyes roll back when I feel that Vegas high. We're rolling on the night and falling to the sky. Make my eyes roll back when I feel that
Vegas High, written by Kylie, Gerald O'Donnell, Richard Stannard and Doug Blackwell. Now, confession time. First listening to this track in the car on Saturday last week, my fiancé Sean and I looked at each other when this track came on, thinking the same thing. This is an absolute banger. Kylie knew she was going to Vegas for a residency, and her mission was to write a song about Vegas, and this is what came out from that session in a tiny studio with Biff, Doug and Jared. So catchy. I can see this going absolutely bonkers at all the gay clubs. Handbags in the middle, hands in the air. Vegas High, yes please. Love this track, and I'm predicting this track will be a single in the future. So, how are you enjoying Tension so far? Is it a 10 out of 10?
You know I'm gonna give you 10 out of 10. No,
out of 10, written by Oliver Heldens, Kylie, Jackson Foote, James J. Hart, Sarah Hudson, and Liana Banks, produced by Oliver and Jackson. Now, this track, 10 out of 10, was originally not included for Tension, but I really like this song. When it first came out, I loved that 80s synth pop vibe, the disco elements, 90s house, Eurodance. My fiance Sean loves this track, 10 out of 10. Now, apparently Oliver and Kylie have yet to meet in person, but they were emailing back and forth creating this track. Let's move on to the final track on the standard edition of Tension. This is Story. Written by Kylie, Gerald O'Connell, Richard Stannard, and Doug Blackwell. Story has a bit of a personal connection for Kylie, overcoming some things and getting through a difficult period in her life. Kylie has said in interviews, this song took a while to get right. Again, gorgeous vocals from Kylie, such a great song, and again, Story is firming up to be one of the fan favourites from the Tension album. Okay guys, so we have gone through the 11 tracks which appear on the standard edition of the Tension album. Let's move on to the 3 tracks which appear on the deluxe edition of Tension, beginning with Love Train.
All aboard my love train, I can take you to the moon in the fast lane. I need a passenger, baby, don't wait. Yeah, you better buckle up, it's a beautiful view.
Written by Kylie, Megan Cotton, and Sky Adams. Now I can see why this track is a bonus track. It's okay, but not amazing. The lyrics are quite simple, the song is a bit quirky, but after a few listens, you do find yourself singing along. This track is a bit of a grower. Track number 13 on the deluxe edition of Tension is Just Imagine.
I can feel it coming. Oh, my heart beats out of my hands. Don't know what it is, but just imagine all these words I'm thinking.
Written by Kylie's long-term collaborator Karen Poole and Carl Ryden. Just Imagine is my second favourite of the 3 bonus tracks on the album Tension. Reminds me a bit of Lost Without You from the Golden album. A really nice track. So we've come to the end of the deluxe edition of the album, and this is the final track, Somebody to Love.
So if you want somebody to love you, when you feel that the time is right, baby, I could be the one that you run to, and forever could be starting tonight. I just wanted to be real.
Once again, written by Kylie, John Green, Richard Stannard, and Doug Blackwell. The final track on the deluxe edition of the album, and my favourite out of the 3 bonus tracks. This is very Kylie, positive, and a nice close to the deluxe edition album. I really like this track. The week of the release of the Tension album, Kylie surprised us all by releasing a bonus deluxe edition featuring 2 tracks not on the original standard album and not on the deluxe edition of the album. So let's go through the 2 tracks now, beginning with Heavenly Body.
I missed you all my life, love. I didn't realize till you fell right from the sky. You're my heavenly body, singing. I missed you all my life.
Once again, written by Kylie, John Green, Richard Stannard, and Doug Blackwell. I love the touch of drum and bass on this track. Such a great 90s vibe. Love this one from Kylie. And the next track that she released as part of the 2-track bonus Green, Richard Stannard and Doug Blackwell. This track leaked online back in June this year. Some clear differences in this version to the leaked demo version earlier this year. It's been rearranged slightly in places and it flows much better than the leaked demo. I feel Heavenly Body and Drum should have been on the main album, or at least on the deluxe version of the album, maybe replacing Love Train, two great tracks that Kylie surprised us with on the week of release. If you haven't got those two tracks, Heavenly Body and Drum, head online to Kylie's website and you can purchase both tracks online. So we've gone through the album Tension, we've gone through the remixes of Padam Padam and the second single Tension. So what do I think of Tension overall as an album? Now, when I was listening to the full deluxe album for the first time, my fiance Sean and I had just returned home from a 4-week holiday the night before the album was released. So on the Saturday, we were racing around in the car, doing some errands, and one word kept popping into my mind, and that word is euphoric. Tension is a fabulous return to electro pop. I really enjoy this album. It's really uplifting, it's positive, it's what we love from a Kylie album. Tension has only been out a week, and Kylie has been so busy doing press. Here in Australia, she appeared on Sunrise, Today and News Breakfast promoting the album. She also done some really cute YouTube visualizers for tracks Things We Do for Love, You Still Get Me High, Green Light, 10 out of 10 and Story. And last weekend, she done a special London pop-up store with heaps of goodies on sale, including candles, vinyls, perfume, her wine range. Thousands of people turned up, and one of them being one of my good friends from the UK, Stephen, who picked up quite a few goodies from the London pop-up store. I'll share some of Stephen's photos with you on my social media channels, so make sure you check them out. Also the week of release, Kylie performed an intimate concert at London's Shepherd's Bush Empire on Wednesday the 27th of September. An intimate balloted show for a lucky few O2 and Virgin Media priority customers, with around 100,000 people entering the ballot. Only a few hundred got tickets. Now the setlist for the concert was quite similar to the BBC Two Party in the Park concert. Kylie performed the track Story live for the first time and became quite emotional towards the end. Clearly this song really means a lot to her. Other tracks from Tension that she performed were Hold On To Now, the title track Tension, and of course Padam Padam. An interesting fact here, Kylie last played the venue during her intimate and live concerts in 1998. She played 3 shows, and I was in London at the time and saw the first 2 shows. And that was my first time seeing Kylie live. I remember for the first concert, I was towards the front at the side, and the second concert, I was actually front row. So it was such an amazing experience for me. And obviously since then, I've seen Kylie live dozens of times. So fingers crossed for that world tour next year. So Tension has been out just over a week, and as I record this episode for you on Saturday 30th of September, we do have some chart positions for the album Tension. On the release day, Friday 22nd of September, Tension reached number 1 in 40 countries on iTunes. But here is the official chart results so far for the album Tension. No surprise, Tension debuted at number 1 in Australia, UK and Scotland. Absolutely amazing news. In Ireland, Tension debuted at number 2. In the Netherlands, number 3. In New Zealand, her highest debut since 2001's Fever, debuting at number 5. Also debuting at number 5 in Germany and France. In Finland, Tension debuted at number 8. in Italy number 13, and in Sweden number 19. At the time of recording, no chart position for the US as yet, but early predictions have it debuting in the lower half of the top 20 on the Billboard 200 album chart. Let's move on to what's coming up for Kylie over the next few months. The first thing, of course, is the Las Vegas residency. At the Venetian's new room, Voltaire, more than just a residency, it's been promoted as an intimate space limited to just 1,000 people across between a 1930s cabaret club and Studio 54. Sounds amazing. The first 10 shows from November this year to January 2024 sold out in record time, and 10 more dates from March to May next year have also sold out. Unfortunately, I can't afford to go to Las Vegas to see the show, but I'm really hoping that after the Las Vegas residency, Kylie goes on a world tour to promote the Tension album and the disco album, which she never got to tour. A week or so ago, the ARIA Award nominations were released, Australia's Night of Nights for the music industry, and Kylie is up for 4 awards this year: Best Solo Artist, Best Independent Artist, Best Pop Release, and Song of the Year. The awards are set for Wednesday, 15th of November in Sydney, live streamed on YouTube and streaming platform Stan in Australia, with delayed coverage on Channel 9. Here's hoping Kylie picks up a few more arias to add to her collection. Finally, in December, there's going to be a TV special, An Audience with Kylie Minogue, filmed on Friday the 1st of December and shown sometime in December on ITV in the UK. And fingers crossed, hopefully overseas fans will also see the special in December as well. Now, I'm predicting that aside from tracks from Tension and her back catalogue, she's also going to chuck in a few Christmas songs, because this special is going to be in December and will also promote the Tension album and the Christmas album as well, which always sells every year. And Santa Baby always enters the charts in the UK at Christmas time. Can the track reach the top 20 this year? Only time will tell. Finally, I'm so pleased that Tension is out. Over 35 years in the recording industry, still getting new fans and still having #1 albums, Kylie is a true music icon. She works so hard and she really deserves her success. Here's to another amazing album, Tension. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this podcast episode celebrating Kylie's new album, Tension. If you haven't got a copy of the album yet, make sure you check it out on your favourite streaming service. And you can also pick up copies physically on CD, vinyl and cassette from Kylie's online store and your favourite music store. As always, all this week I will be posting heaps of videos and photos on my social media channels: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. So make sure you check out our social media channels as I celebrate Kylie's album Tension all this week on the Sound Museum. As always, thank you so much for listening and subscribing to the podcast. Join me for another new episode of the Sound Museum next week. Until then, you have a great week. Take care and I will see you then.